And welcome back into Open Line. Chuck Long here for our last segment on Open Line. So if you do have that call, that question, make sure you get online with us as quickly as possible. 737-7587 for any of those legal questions. We are going back to the phones right now, though. We want to get to as many calls as we can in this segment. Keith is on the line with us. Keith, good evening. Do you have a question or a comment for Kevin?
Yeah, I've got a question. My father passed away 2.5 years ago, and it's just been a big deal with my three siblings. Anyway, it went on the market last week for $550. Are those monies when the house sells? Are those monies taxable? And I'll hang up and listen and really dig in your suit there, brother.
Thank you so much. And here's the deal. As a general rule, when they divide up the money, if it's called per stirpes, that's you, your brother, your sister, everybody gets equal share. And so the monies that you receive, I always tell everybody, go talk to a tax attorney and hear what they say and what options they have. Because everybody's income tax is different. Everybody's inheritance tax. Now, right now, you can get up to $11 million inherited and it be tax-free. So that gives you a big broad. But remember this. They can change the tax laws at any time. You say, well, I thought, well, guess what? That's why we should always, some of the smartest businessmen I've ever known, they say put together a team. Have a lawyer, have an accountant. If you got to deal with insurance, have your insurance person. I don't know a business doesn't. And then have your realtor. What's the theory? Have everyone with their expert and get the best ones you can get. And then you can maneuver through this in a lifetime. And if you do a good job, at the end of your life, you'll be able to leave your children something.
Great advice. We appreciate that call, Keith. We hope you have a good evening. All right, back to the lines right now. Anthony is on the line with us. Anthony, we're glad you're joining us here on Open Line. What's your question for Kevin?
Thank you so much for letting me talk to a gentleman like Mr. Kennedy.
Thank you, Anthony.
What I'm trying to ask is, I tried to apply for a new doctor. My doctor, he's been reckless and medical care of me, but he said he has the power to let me get another doctor at the VA. And I went to patient advocate, and they said they can't do nothing to make him change his mind and give him those instructions. And I'm really frustrated about that because I was looking into this Campbell June lawsuit, federal lawsuit they got also.
Yep.
About this bad water. And it's worse, it's first at Camp Paris Island. Then it changed to Campbell June, you know. So
yes.
I think it may be discrimination sometimes, Kevin. I can't get another attorney, my health is going down. I can't get another lawyer, a doctor. I don't know what else to do. Well,
I am so sorry to hear about your situation. And you know, when people talk about health care, and if they ever talk about nationalized health care, what his problem is coming to everybody's home. We had the greatest health care system in the world. But, you know, when you put it all, and they say, okay, my doctor's not treating me fair. Can I get another doctor? Where they're in total control. The doctor said, you can get another doctor, but guess what? If the new doctor won't accept you, you've got a problem. Now, under the law, they have to treat you. Not that doctor, but someone does. So it creates a massive problem, and I'm so sorry to hear this, but your words are ringing out throughout this entire broadcast. So anytime they ask you what's your opinion on social life, because it'll get to the point when you need an operation, you can't even get in for months. And then what do you do when your doctor says, no, I don't see that's a problem, and you know he's wrong? That's the problem that we're all confronted with. I always like to talk to the representatives and say, golly, give us some relief. The legislature, what's the last gaps for America? It's the lawyer. And you say, well, I'm having a hard time. And you know why? Because the legislature has made it such, the lobbyist for the medical profession has been so good, it cuts off the little man. When they cut off the lawyer, then they cut off the little man, and that man is really the person who loses the most. But we go back to my philosophy, you just keep pursuing. And you may have to get a patient advocate, and then if that one doesn't work, keep going till you do get one. Remember, those veterans, that's a federal program. You got some feds that you can talk to.
All right, good to know. Anthony, thanks so much for calling in. We really appreciate you this evening. All right, Kevin, just kind of piggybacking on that, we've got just enough time. When you look at, we're talking about the healthcare situation, and a lot of times people out there, they go through a situation where then they have a big problem with a doctor or a hospital, but they feel like they're the little guy. What is your advice? Because they say, well, you're not going to be able to do malpractice because the insurance companies for the hospitals too big. What do you do?
What I always like to do, I always want everybody to have a family member or a friend to go where there's at least two to say, hey, what are our options? And at least, because you didn't say, I didn't hear that, because when they get scared of getting sued, they're going to say anything. And many times, you know what we hear all the time? Well, it didn't go well. Well, what did the doctor? He won't talk to us. So they are shutting down because they're watching this show and say loose lips sink ships. They won't talk. And their insurance lawyers are telling them, don't talk. So again, we need a patient advocate. Try to document, and when they say they're giving you a certain drug, there's nothing wrong with questioning. You can be professional because you're just trying to watch. And I like to tell people, my clients, have somebody sit with you, because so many mistakes are made all the time. They've got personnel shortage. It's going to affect your health care.
All right. Kevin, we've got just under a minute and a half left, but I always like to ask you at the end of the show, words of wisdom. What's on your mind tonight?
Words of wisdom. Well, the name of the game is, I would never confess. You know, they say confession's good for the soul. I believe that. You confess all that to the Lord, but don't confess it to the police. They're not really your friends. They've got a job to do. I love the police. They said, Kevin, that's a dichotomy. I said, no, it's not, because we do love the police, but we love justice, and we want people to treat us fair and respect. And then when it's all said and done, the truth will set you free. But don't be foolish. Be protected. Always know what you're saying. Teach your family.
All right, as you say, loose lips sink ships.
Sink ships, and they will.
And you know, there's something to be said too. You often have some great sayings, and that's what sticks with me a lot of times.
Well, the truth is, Chuck, those great sayings have lasted the centuries. Why? Because they're powerful and they do work. They work on me, they work on you, and we're sharing them tonight with this broadcast.
Absolutely. We are going to take a short break. When we come back, though, we will let you know how you can get a hold of Kevin Kennedy at the Kennedy Law Firm. So come on back with us. You're watching Open Line.